Well, this is not the best news, but it feels inevitable. And to be honest with you, while I'm sure that Elon Musk would probably hope that progressive left-leaning people would be crying and screaming over this news, it just kind of leaves me a little bit hollow. It's like, well, yeah, duh. This is kind of inevitable. The worst people always seem to come out on top in this system that is late-stage capitalism. But Elon Musk, just today, broke the record. He has become the world's first ever trillionaire, making him wealthier than the nation of Poland, for reference, as a single individual. So he is essentially, as a person, he has the economic power of, I mean, take your pick of many top of the totem pole, powerful world-leading nations, and Elon has that level of capital at his disposal now. And a lot of it comes back to what we're about to read about right now, which is this big SpaceX IPO thing. I don't know exactly what it's all about, but we're about to find out because I got an article about it right here. So it's time for us to do a little bit of learning. Let's find out how this guy just inflated his wealth several times over in such a short period of time, because it is pretty astronomical. Like, it's insane. Let's dive into it. Catapulted by the market debut of his rocket company SpaceX, Elon Musk is now the world's first trillionaire. That's right, you can now invest in SpaceX, it would seem. Tesla was already doing numbers, so it doesn't surprise me that SpaceX goes up in the market and people crowd around it. They flood to buy it out. This is almost certainly a pathway to more market manipulation from Elon Musk. He's done it before, particularly with crypto. But, I mean, this seems really fishy, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. That level of wealth, all owned by just one person, was once unfathomable. Before Friday, the $1 trillion mark was reserved for measures like the GDP, or staggering debt, of a handful of major economies. And in the last decade alone, the value of some of the biggest companies to ever trade on the stock market. Musk's new title arrives amid a wider acceleration for the richest of the rich. After year, his former, although now very distant billionaires club has reaped a growing number of members, from tech titans to celebrities. All the while, more and more people worldwide are struggling to pay their everyday bills. Many have decried the arrival of the first trillionaire as the latest and most alarming example of that wealth gap. That's right, everybody. The richest people have seen their wealth grow faster than ever in the last couple years. Like, the wealthiest of the wealthy have never been richer, and they've never been making more money than they are right now. All the while, the working class, that's us, we're struggling more than we ever have. So this is really just an acceleration of the unsustainable system that we've been talking about. All of the money pulls into the top 1%, and then even their money pulls into the top 1% of the 1%, and that's what we're seeing right now. The world's first trillionaire is just the start, and Elon Musk's he's going to keep making money, and eventually it's going to get to the point where such a small group of people hold so much money, you can't have a functioning economy anymore, because the working class can't survive. You can't have an economy globally or nationally without a working class that can survive. The rich will get what they want, the poor will lose what they need. That's what's happening right now. It's up to us to stop it. We got to make sure people don't ignore this. We got to make sure that this affects their votes in the next election. We got to make sure that chuds that are trying to defend Elon Musk and Donald Trump are forced to answer for this stuff. That's our job. The number 1 trillion is hard and in itself for the human mind to comprehend. $1 trillion is 1,000 times greater than 1 billion and 1,000,000 times more than 1 million. According to Forbes, Musk's net worth actually hit 1.1 trillion on Friday after SpaceX soared in its market debut. Most of that money is in stock. Still, here are some ways to think about how far 1 trillion could go. To the moon and back over 200 times. Thinking about $1 trillion looks like is almost as astronomical as the interplanetary, and at this point still far from realized, goals SpaceX has laid out for itself. In terms of physical cash, $1 trillion laid end to end would stretch nearly 97 million miles, or almost 156 million kilometers. That would account for the distance of more than 200 round-trip journeys to the moon, which NASA says sits an average of 238,855 miles away from Earth. It would also surpass the roughly 39 million, or 93 million miles, about 150 million kilometers between Earth and the sun. So the amount of money that Elon Musk now has is so extreme that he actually could just make sure no one on Earth ever starves again, and he'd still be the world's richest man. Like, he is so wealthy that it puts even other, there are no other trillionaires, it puts the billionaires to shame. Like, there are no billionaires that are almost at his level. Now, here's what's scary. Do you guys want to know what Elon Musk's net worth was last year? When I say we're seeing a massive acceleration in the amount of wealth pulling into the ultra wealthy, do you want to know how severe it is? Last year, Elon Musk capped the year off with a net worth of $342 billion. Quite impressive, but nowhere near the $1.1 trillion that he now has to his name today, a year later. So it's basically apocalyptic levels of wealth hoarding that we're seeing happen in a year. Elon is very clearly manipulating the market to make this happen. This is not organic in the slightest. And this might actually destroy the economy. Like, this might actually be the straw that breaks the camel's back in the end of things. Because I don't know how, like, look at this graph. This graph literally visually represents it. 2025, this is his net worth, 342 billion. This year's not even over yet, by the way. We're only halfway through. A 222% increase to 1.1 trillion. In his net worth. Now, going by this pattern, he's going to be the first 10 trillionaire by the end of the year at this rate. I don't know if there's enough money in the world for everyone to share with Elon by the end of the year at this rate. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's just genuinely evil, you know? Like, when you're just like a normal broke-ass person trying to struggle to get by, and you've got to watch as, like, the biggest loser on Earth becomes the richest person on Earth, what can you even say? What can you even do? I don't know. I don't know what I can say or do. All I can do is show you some examples of how people have been reacting to this news. I got a clip here from Mockler, Adam Mockler. He's not happy about this. I thought I'd play a minute of his rant on the subject because I gave a little bit of a listen to this earlier, and yeah, he's not happy.
I don't know how else to say this other than this is a threat to our democracy. I'm not sure anybody should ever be worth $1 trillion, and if they are, it should definitely not be Elon Musk, who is so power hungry that he is now rewiring the political system in the United States and, in his idea, Europe, to then benefit himself and make him more and more wealthy. The news that we just got is Elon Musk is the world's first trillionaire after his company SpaceX did an initial public offering. They IPO'd just this morning. Elon Musk is somebody who has used his wealth to try to rig elections in Donald Trump's favor, used his wealth to do weird fake raffles and trick people.
Donald Trump now has over $1 trillion at his disposal. Like, he's got the world's richest man who is now a trillionaire backing him up. The right, as an institution, now has the world's only trillionaire backing it up. I genuinely cannot imagine a future in the next few months where conservatives continue to make excuses for the ultra wealthy and the likes of Elon and Donald Trump and how he's helping his rich friends. This news and how quickly Elon got so rich while everybody else is suffering, this should radicalize countless Americans. Unless they have fully brain rotted into complete mush, this should radicalize countless Americans against the concept of the ultra wealthy. I like how you've got conservatives who are like, yeah, Bernie, notice how Bernie stopped criticizing millionaires when he became one, and now he calls out the billionaires. Before, for one, it was always the billionaires, but let's say it wasn't that. Now we've got trillionaires. To tell you the truth, having a couple $1 million in this economy is really nice. That's a comfortable living, but it's not the level of you're pretty set that it was in the economy of even 10 years ago, right? Like a few $1 million, if you invested that right and saved, you could never work again in the economy of 2016. Today, I honestly, like, do the math. I don't think a few million lasts you your whole life, even if you're really saving, unless you move somewhere where cost of living is really low, like not even in America. So yeah, I don't know. I don't care that much about the millionaires right now. The fact that we've got trillionaires now and that billionaires are getting exceedingly more common, that's what I'm worried about.
Into voting in states like Pennsylvania, and most importantly, and we're going to talk about this later on in the video more in depth, Elon Musk has used the government to gain his wealth and then doesn't pay taxes back into the government. Obama subsidized a lot of the growth of SpaceX and Elon Musk's other companies, and then Elon Musk turns around and makes sure that he doesn't have to pay into the very system that has benefited him. It is sick, twisted, broken, and we're going to talk about it throughout this video. If you appreciate this type of news and you want to help support our pro-democracy, anti-Elon message, make sure you drop a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the Adam Mockler feed, and this is an important conversation that we need to be having. So, soon to be trillionaire, this was written yesterday. Now trillionaire, Elon Musk's wealth grew by over $1 million per minute in the last year. Elon Musk, as an individual, is more rich, has more money than the poorest 46% of the world combined. That is 3.
This puts into perspective how much that Elon being this wealthy is robbing people. He hasn't earned this money. It is theft. Like, let's be completely real here. When Elon is richer, or when Elon has more money as a singular person than the combined wealth of the poorest 46% of the entire world's population, basically what they're saying here is that Elon Musk hoards like a substantial portion of all the wealth of the world. Like a noticeable, like if you could visualize it, you'd be able to look at Elon Musk's slice and go, wow. Oh, and it's getting bigger? Shit. There is just not money to be earned by you if you are a poor person or a working class person that was on the table previously, because right now it's owned by the ultra wealthy. The ultra wealthy are holding on to that money, and it's not on the table for you to earn. They've stolen it. They've removed it from the economy. They will turn it into generational wealth for their Nepo baby children to benefit from, if anyone gets to benefit from it at all, besides themselves.
8 billion people that Elon Musk has more wealth than. Absolutely absurd. And you know how he's using this wealth on a day-to-day basis? In order to trick voters and try to rig elections. Elon Musk spent more than $290 million on the 2024 election. Not for altruistic reasons. He's not out there just trying to make the world better because he wants to make the world better. Maybe like 2012 Elon Musk, who was only talking about space. Well, you can make that argument that he has, bigger visions, but right now, when he's donating into the political system this much money, it's for his own self-interested, narcissistic, and awful reasons. He has donated this money, he has bought Twitter, and he has used that to spread so much disinformation and muddy the waters on many issues. On top of spending over $300 million to get Trump elected, and then walking around the White House on ketamine with Doge, which we should talk about Doge in just 1 second, Elon Musk also got sued.
Dude, a lot of people don't talk about this, but yeah, bro was absolutely strung out on ketamine through the entire election. Maybe ketamine is like the super drug. Like, if the world's richest person is just all about ketamine, it must be the drug. Must be good. Damn, I need to get some ketamine. Guys, where do I get that shit? Do I find like a rancher? It's like a horse drug, right? Like a horse steroid or no, a horse sedative, right? Horse tranquilizer is what it is, right? No, it means he's still miserable. What if it gives you superpowers though? And it makes you it just makes you good at making money. No, it doesn't. Elon Musk didn't do anything to actually warrant or merit this, by the way. The US government has bailed out SpaceX and many other private space agencies many times because in the past we've signed contracts, the United States, I should say, has signed contracts with them. For instance, with SpaceX. You guys might know about the ISS, the International Space Station. It's made up of many modules that are all contributed to by different countries, Russia, Canada, and the United States most notably. However, when it comes to the United States and our supplies, our astronauts that were getting sent up to the ISS, over a decade ago, the US government signed, well, the president, I think it was Obama at the time, agreed to make it so all shipments made up to the ISS on behalf of America, so sending up American astronauts, etc., would no longer be done by Russia, because that's who was doing it before, I believe. I think Russia was sending our guys up. We were going up with the Russians, or at least we were using Russian vehicles or something. Now it's SpaceX that does it. And I think Blue Origin, which is Jeff Bezos' space company, is also getting in on it. They're the ones who had their rocket just explode the other day. You guys remember that? I feel like that's a good way to cap off this segment, actually, is the exploding rocket. Do you guys see this? It was crazy. This might be the biggest explosion, like, that's happened in my lifetime. The Beirut one was pretty big, but I think this one's bigger. This one made it look like daytime. Bro. This video isn't even the best one because it doesn't show off how bizarrely day it looked. to see the explosion from the distance. It looked like the sun. Look at that, dude. Holy shit. This was 2 weeks ago. That's what it looked like. Watch this. You think, oh, look, the sunset. What a beautiful sunset. Wow. That is a gorgeous sunset. Oh my gosh. Wait, what do you mean it's literally the middle of the night when they did this launch? What do you mean there is absolutely no sun out at all, and that was just the explosion? The fucking lightning flash to the left, too, is crazy. It looks like Mount Doom. That slow-ass sound. Mordor. That literally looks like Mordor, bro. It looks like that nuking of Arasaka Tower in Cyberpunk. Dude, that shit, if that happened in Arasaka Tower, that would have brought it down entirely. I guess it did. Did it get brought down? We don't really see what happened to the tower. I don't think it's implied that Arasaka Tower completely collapsed when it got nuked by Johnny Silverhand, did it? Or not really Johnny. It was Morgan Blackhand, but still. Rapid unscheduled disassembly. Yep. Yeah, it cratered. Oh, it did? Damn. Shit, they don't show that in the game. In fact, they seem to imply that there was very little damage to the tower in the game from what I remember. Not very little, but like the tower was still standing from what I remember. It's like a memorial? No, I mean like, well, I guess it's because Johnny's memories aren't really accurate, maybe? Maybe that's why the tower's still standing? That's the new tower? Why would the new tower... Would they built... Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I know they rebuilt it, like, or they fixed it afterwards, but I didn't think it had been destroyed, because in Johnny's memories, it was still standing. The old side of the tower was a memorial? Ah, okay. Well, there you go. Rebuild? I guess so. Marvin the Martian is jealous. His Illudium Q32 space modulator could never. True. Very true. Anyway. Elon Musk has basically become the perfect example of why capitalism in its late stages is untenable. I'm not much of like the LARPy, loud, we need revolution type socialist, but I am very much a loud, we need extreme reform type socialist. And if I've ever seen anything in my life that should be radicalizing people against the concept of wealth hoarding by the ultra wealthy and the greed borne out by this capitalist system in which we live, this ought to be it. I mean, we've got the world's first trillionaire while people are struggling to get by and be able to pay the most basic of bills. If that doesn't radicalize people, I don't know what will. And Elon Musk himself tying himself so strongly to Trump's campaign and Trump tying himself to Elon Musk, hopefully that ends up backfiring on them spectacularly in the end. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, and ring the bell icon if you want to see more from me, as I always do appreciate it. It helps the channel a lot when you do those things, and it means a lot to me. And of course, be sure to follow my social medias, linked down below in the description, if you want to see more from me, and consider going the extra mile to support the channel. You can always donate, subscribe, or gift a sub on my website, or support me the same way over on YouTube. I always appreciate it, but regardless, thank you for watching.